This podcast is powered by The Plug.
I'm your host, Chardonnay, aka Coco Madame, and I'm so excited to be here. What's up, everyone, and welcome to Hustle Bunny.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Hustle Bunny. I'm your host, Chardonnay, aka Coco. And today we are here with the very beautiful, very talented Miss Kelsi Shay.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, you're quite the success. You're probably like the biggest thing out of Denver thus far.
Oh, man. I'll take it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we like to start the show off with 3 icebreaker questions for you.
Yes.
You look a little. I was gonna say you look a little scared.
I'm nervous.
I'll go easy on you. How about that?
Please.
Yes.
Start easy on me.
I'll start easy. Okay. Well, because you are a model and you do travel a lot, how do you like to travel? Do you like to sit window seat, middle, or on the end?
I like window seats. That way I can, prop my head up against it if I got to take a little nappy nap. But, if I'm traveling with someone, though, what I really like to do, and this is probably going to sound super bougie, but I like to find seats that don't have anyone in the middle. And so that way, if my friend and I if we can book like the window seat and the aisle seat,
right,
and then no one's in the middle, we get the whole row.
Right.
Like, it's perfect.
Right. That's actually a really good idea. Right? I've never done that before, but with Corona, that's like a thing.
Yeah.
Corona, you can't sit next to anyone if they're not the person you're traveling with.
I mean, we can barely travel as it is with Corona right now.
Yeah, so. I know. Rona took us out the game.
Yes. Yeah. So I haven't been traveling a lot lately, but hopefully soon.
See, I'm an end-seat girl. I got to get the fuck out.
What?
I got to get out. What? I can't be having people do all this stuff. I'm ready to go.
People to see.
Exactly. I just like the access. I got to be able to get out.
I feel too exposed to other people. I'm like, I don't like this. I can't even sleep. I can't even take a nap. I got to sleep with one eye open now.
You got your head hanging off the side of the
right
thing in the aisle.
You got your knee out in the aisle. You
that's
cart.
me. That's me. I've had my head hanging off the side. I don't give no fucks.
Oh my God. 0 fucks given.
Or like you said, if it's just like if I'm traveling with someone and it's just 2 people, I'll sit in I like the window seat, you know? So it's either the window seat or the end seat.
Yeah.
If you're like the middle seat,
there's no middle seat option. That's not an option.
No.
It's not.
You're a problem child at that point. You like to fuck people's lives up.
Yes. You're the one taking up the armrest, whole armrest.
Yes.
Both of them.
And you want to sit with your legs open. That's my biggest pet peeve.
Wide open.
Just open.
Knees touching each other. Like, I don't know you like that.
Yeah, I know. They don't care. They don't give no fucks.
I don't like it.
Second question.
Okay. I survived the first one.
You survived
the second one. Oh, no.
I feel like the second one's going to make you laugh.
Oh, God.
Let's see. If you were a potato, how would you want to be
What
cooked?
the fuck? If I was a potato, I would want to be a tater tot.
Ooh.
Not a tater thought. A tater tot.
You'd be a tater thought. You'd be a straight up tater thought, and I would eat you.
Yeah, either a tater tot or hash browns. One of the two.
Oh, I would be a French fry.
You would be a French fry.
I'd eat myself up.
Oui.
Okay. Last question.
I got too confident now.
You got too confident now.
I'm scared. Help.
Craziest place you've hooked up.
Oh, no.
I came for you.
Oh, she came for me and then some.
Thank you for listening to this episode. If you or your company are looking to jump into the podcast world, now is the time. The Plug Agency is here to connect you to the full power of podcasting. You just record and leave the rest to us. The people are listening and want to hear from you. theplug-agency.com. That's theplug-agency.com. Click the link in the episode description for an exclusive offer.
So it was when I was younger. I was still of age, but younger.
Okay.
And
oh, now I gotta hear. You can't even
no.
tell the story.
I can't. No. So I had a trampoline. I had a trampoline in the backyard, and yeah, we ended up. So we were looking. We went out there originally to look at the stars, quote unquote.
Oh, yeah, looking at the stars on the trampoline.
Now look at my dick. Oh my God. Yeah, so we were looking at the stars, and yeah, it just happened because we were out there with a blanket, obviously, because it was kind of chilly. And yeah, and I didn't like it. The extra thrust from the bouncing, it just kind of hurt. I was like, this is not enjoyable. That's probably the craziest.
I feel like
the most oddest.
Yeah,
place.
that's odd. You
Not
know,
a lot of people can say a trampoline.
No.
Yeah.
It's like that Big Sean song. Every time I hit it, it bounced back.
Yeah, that was it, but it was less pleasurable than that. Yeah. What
You're
about
getting
you,
bounced
though?
around. Craziest place that I've had sex.
Yes, the craziest or most oddest.
The oddest place I've had sex. Oh gosh, it's like
damn. There's that many to choose from.
I'm trying to think about like what would be odd. Oh gosh. Of course, like when you're like younger, you're like doing crazy things.
You aren't thinking about the laws of how you could be.
No, you're like
as a sex offender.
Yeah, okay, yeah. This one is definitely a sex offender qualified story.
Okay, let's hear it.
I had sex in a park bench.
Like a regular park, or like
a regular park,
like a playground park.
There was a playground along the way.
Okay, that's definitely sex offender worthy.
It was sex offender worthy, right? That was definitely like
okay.
Yeah, that was
How old were you?
Old
enough.
I was 18. Well, I was 17 or 18. I think I was 18. I was like fresh out of high school, you know?
Yeah. And that's when I feel like you do the most experimenting. You know, you're not, like I said, you're not worrying about laws or what you can get in trouble for. You're like, yeah,
you're like, it's okay. And then like the guys are like, it's okay. There's like sprinklers and shit over here. I mean, it wasn't.
The sprinklers have to do with anything.
Well, the sprinklers I feel like have to do with everything. That's what kind of initiated it.
Oh.
I wanted to go streaking in the sprinklers.
Okay.
And then that's what started it.
That would have been fun, though. I've never been streaking in sprinklers, but okay. Yeah.
It's like whatever. You're like, whatever. Like, it sounded fun. It was a hot summer night. And you're like, okay, whatever. It's like 11:30 at night, 12 o'clock at night. And you're like, okay, whatever. Yeah, the sprinklers are coming on. Like, let's just have some fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Y'all didn't even make it in the sprinklers. You didn't even make it in the sprinklers or not. It's happening here.
Yeah, I know it's happening here. That was probably like the oddest place I feel like I had sex.
Okay.
And I don't really think it was all that great.
See, it's not. It's very anticlimactic at that point. It's like I was expecting more from this. It didn't.
Yeah, and it just didn't happen. But who was really getting orgasms when they were 17?
That's true.
Guys, of course, were, because they were like the 2-minute.
They could fuck a tube sock with lotion in it and be good.
They're happy with that. They are so happy with that.
Grapefruit with the hole in it. That's all they need.
Did you ever watch that video?
Which
one? That's how you learn how. You remember the lady, she was like this, like this middle-aged, like black lady on YouTube, and she came out probably about 2013, 14, whatever. And she was teaching us how to give blowjobs.
No. Wait, I remember the white lady, Ruth. I want to call her Ruth. That's probably not even her name. But I know that's not even probably her name. But yeah, and she's like a sexpert.
No, I know who you're talking about. She's like the little tiny old German lady.
Yes, that's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, no, she is. This is like a random black lady on YouTube, right? Her name was like Charisse or something.
Oh no!
And she cut a hole in a grapefruit. And then I forgot, I think she put it
in the microwave, didn't she?
No, she did not put it in the microwave. Not from what I remember. She stuck I don't know what she stuck in there to like start sucking on it, but she goes ham on this thing. She's like, this is how you get it.
I need to see this video.
I'm going to have to show you.
Yes, you're going to have to show me.
It is hilarious. This girl is going slam.
I had never seen that before.
It's a great video.
I want to see it.
You have to. And then you're like, oh, well, then you think like blowjobs would be fun because it's like fruity. And you're like, no, it's.
Yeah, no, and a little acidic.
Maybe that's where like
a little burning in the back of the
just
throat.
a little bit. That's where the grapefruit came in. I think she was like, just imagine it like a grapefruit.
And they're like, done. Say less.
That lady was going.
They took it too far.
Yes.
Like, done.
Best video though. That's how I learned. Actually, I've learned.
Is that how you learned?
No, I learned through experience. In
Trial and
Pornhub.
error. Oh, listen, Pornhub will steer you wrong though.
They will.
Because Pornhub taught me that it was supposed to be like, oh my God, like all these sounds and stuff. And I was like, it's not really like that the entire time, you know?
No.
It's not
and it
theatrical.
changes.
Yeah.
It changes based on what you guys are doing. Because,
Yeah.
like, you're not, you know, most of the times I got to cut the volume down because I'm like.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's faking it too much.
Yeah.
You're ruining it.
You really did.
Yeah.
Now it's just theatrics.
Yep.
Well, now that we got your 3 icebreakers out
Yeah.
the way.
Well, damn.
We know how you like to travel.
Yes.
We know how you like your potatoes.
Yes.
And we know your craziest place you had sex so far. I like this.
Oh, man.
So now that we got you all loosened up and
Yes.
happy, let's see.
Yes.
For those that don't know you, you've been multi-published Playboy model. We've seen you in Playboy US, Playboy Thailand. You've been
Yes.
Playboy Cyber Girl of the Month.
Yep.
You've done so much, but Playboy definitely is like your strong suit.
Yes.
And kind of definitely made your career for you.
Yeah, that was definitely my breakthrough in the career for sure. Before that, I was definitely doing things with, you know, local clothing brands like Ruckus Apparel. Love them, still work with them to this day because they were there from day one. They took me under their wing. You know, they gave me a chance. They taught me the ropes and everything. So I'm always grateful for them. I still work with them whenever they need me. But I will say, yeah, Playboy was definitely the breakthrough. It got you noticed by other major brands, for sure.
How did you get that opportunity?
Honestly, I had always, ever since I was younger, you know, my parents had Playboy magazines, not laying out, but I would notice them here and there, and I just looked at them as beautiful women who were comfortable in their bodies, you know, and that's something that we always strive to be when we're younger or when we're going through teenage years and puberty and all that stuff. It's like, damn, like all I want to do is feel comfortable in my own body. Right. And I want to feel proud of it too. Right. Not just comfortable, but proud and confident. And so when I finally did feel like I was comfortable and confident in my own skin, I wanted to pursue a company that
represented that. Yeah, made you feel a certain way.
Yeah. And so I got into it by just doing research. I was looking on all social media platforms, Googling, you know, like the photographers, the casting directors, all of these different people of who I would need to be in contact with. I wrote them multiple times. I emailed, I sent through social media messages. You know, I honestly worked my ass off to, you know, do that research and figure out that information and see who needed to be contacted and in what way. And eventually it did pay off. You know, eventually they were like, well, damn, we might as well, we've been hearing from her enough. Yeah. Might as well give her a chance. And then they reached back out. And so then that's when I flew out to LA for my first casting call. And I went there and then they were like, yeah, you know, we would love to work with you. And it was terrifying, fucking terrifying.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's so terrifying. Yeah. I actually, you know, same exact story as you did. My dad always had Playboy magazines and he had a very nice collection of them. And I'll like never forget this. He had like a collection that on the side of them made out a girl. Like, you know, when you see like a side of a magazine.
Yeah.
And I used to like think the same thing. I was like, oh, like that girl's pretty. Like, I never like saw it as like a sexual thing.
It was
as much
empowering.
As it is. Exactly. Yeah. And that's what I liked about it. I was like, oh, like I want to be that girl one day. And I was just like, he was like, I'm going to do this research. I'm going to do it. I'm going to know everything about it.
Yeah.
And the first time I actually got offered to shoot for Playboy, I turned it down.
Why?
I was in a shitty relationship.
Oh, yeah,
And
that'll do
yeah,
it.
that'll do it. And
That'll do it.
forever to this day, I regret it because I did get offered a casting call, come out to LA, shoot. I sent in my pictures, which was like, when they actually responded to me,
Yeah,
like when I sent
that
in
was the
my
thing
pictures,
too. Yes.
I was like in such awe, like, you know, when you're 19, like, oh my God, like, and it's like,
Yes.
what? Like, this was almost like right before Instagram popped off, before
Right.
Facebook really, you know, was doing anything. So
Yeah.
you're like, damn, dude, like, I actually did that. Like,
Yeah.
you guys actually like me.
Right.
And of course, like, whatever, long story short, guy was like, either going to pick me or going to do Playboy. I was 19. I was stupid. And I
Yeah.
chose the stupid guy.
Young and dumb. We've all been there.
Yes, young
We've
and
all
dumb.
been there.
Young and
Yeah.
dumb. So when you flew out to LA, how was it? Like, did you go to the
Terrifying.
mansion? Did you
Fucking
meet
terrifying.
the...
No. And I'm so mad because, you know, when I actually got my foot in the door with Playboy, that's when Hef died.
Yes.
But you know what? He died on a Wednesday. He died on a hump day.
That
Fucking
is like the
legend.
perfect
Fucking legend.
until the day he died.
Literally until the day he died. He was like, you know what? I'm going to hold off until a hump day.
Until
Like,
a fucking hump day.
But yeah, I was so disappointed though because I obviously did want to go see the Playboy Mansion. And
Right.
I wanted to meet him just because, you know, like that's the company that you're working with. You want to be involved in that. But yeah, it didn't happen. As soon as I got my foot in the door, that's when he passed. And then that's when the mansion was sold off. And so I was never able to see inside of it, unfortunately. But
Yeah, that's like that was like the same for me too. Didn't ever get the opportunity to
Yeah.
go out there. So, you know, but it is what it
Yeah,
is. It is what it is. But you know what? Being able to shoot for that magazine is just epic within itself.
it is. It really is. And you know what? I feel like there's a lot of different reasons why women would want to shoot with them. I feel like for our reasons, just between you and I, it's more empowering. It's not
Right.
about attention. It's not about clout chasing. It's not about anything like that. It's about, like I said, just being comfortable in your own skin for once,
Right.
you know, and just
Right.
being confident and being okay with yourself.
Exactly.
Which takes so long to do and so long to be. And when you finally get to that point, you do want to showcase it. You do want to show it
Oh,
off
yeah.
and be empowered by it. Why shouldn't we be empowered by the fact that, like, you know, nudity is not porn? It's
Exactly.
it doesn't relate to that. Nudity is empowering.
It's just kind of like it's what our body is, and that's what I
Exactly.
find it as. It's not like I just want to go and expose myself to like the world, but just like you said, like nudity for me, I've always said this. It's like nudity is like a form of freedom. For me, it's like I'm
Exactly.
free to express my body. I'm free. Like I've
Exactly.
worked hard for it. Like why should I be ashamed of it?
Yeah.
And that goes for anybody. Like even if you're like a big girl, thick girl, skinny guy, you know, super pale, super dark, you should be okay and like
Yeah.
love
Own it.
yeah, exactly. Own it.
Own that shit.
You know, just
Yeah.
because you don't, you know, and not to think that Playboy is like a standard of beauty, but that was like what we saw as like empowering and like what we want it to be. But
Right.
like, even if you think like a girl in a Nike ad is who you want to be, or like you like what she embodies, and you know, like do that.
Right.
Let that be something that empowers you.
Exactly.
Have you seen any backlash from shooting for Playboy from people like
Oh.
sending you?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, a lot of people, which I was not aware about, but unfortunately a lot of people do relate Playboy to porn.
Of course.
And I also was not aware that when I shot with Playboy and I shot my pictorials, I was not aware that once they posted those like teaser videos, you know, of the pictorial, that anyone could download them and upload them to wherever they wanted to. So I had a lot of people, for whatever reason, uploading my pictorial videos to porn sites. And so then with people, and including family members, unfortunately, I even have family members who to this day still think that I'm somehow a porn star. I've never done porn in my life. I'm not interested in it. Playboy was not viewed as porn in my aspect, but unfortunately, when you Google me now, it does say porn in the porn
like
industry.
adult film actress. Yeah.
And that broke me because I was like, we're backtracking now.
Right.
Like the whole reason why I did this in the first place, that is completely not what I was trying to do.
Right.
That's not the route I was trying to go. and now I'm here. And unfortunately, when it's out on the internet, it's out on the internet forever.
Right,
know?
right. It's a black hole.
Yeah. So now I have these sites that say all of the stuff about me that it's like, oh, she's, her net worth is $1 million. I'm like, bitch, where? Where? Run me my money, because I'm still waiting for it.
Right. $1 million?
Net worth? What?
Yes.
Like, it's just, you can't believe anything that you see on the internet nowadays, but that really hurt. I did cry about that because it hurt to know that there were people who, obviously, people who don't know you, they're not going to give you a fair chance, just assuming right off the bat
right off
anyways.
that. Yeah.
But to have that added on top of it, or especially if I'm like looking for a new job, you know?
Yeah, that's like a huge thing.
That's a huge thing too. If they Google me and they see that can affect me.
Oh yeah.
100%. That can affect whether you get a job or not. And so that's what I was like hating myself for, because I was like, damn, like I was trying to showcast and empower other women to be comfortable in their own body, and now I'm here. Now I backtrack to the point to where it's not even helping.
Right.
It's hurting.
Right.
It's hurting that name and that reputation.
Right.
So
I completely understand that.
Yeah.
You know, it is hard too, because then you're like, okay, well, like, you know, if you do, you know, people think like this is going to last forever. People think that you're going to model and you're going to do this thing forever and it's just going to be a wonderful thing. But no, in the real world, you're going to do a job, you know, you're going to have to, you know, have a name for yourself. And then if people always pull that back up to you and it's associated, it's like a bullet that you have to bite.
It is,
you know?
And especially like, you know, when you go into the dating world too, it adds so much extra pressure and so much extra stress that shouldn't have even been there in the first place.
Right.
And that's what's the most frustrating, is that you can't do Playboy without some people equaling nudity to porn.
Oh yeah.
Nudity is not porn.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, did you ever see us touching ourselves inappropriately or touching someone else inappropriately or doing obscene gestures? No, none of that was involved. But because these people who were able to access our videos and download them and re-upload them to other sites, unfortunately porn sites, you know, now we're paying for it.
Exactly.
We're still paying for it.
Exactly.
I'm still to this day emailing these websites and saying, hey, I didn't agree for my
images to be up here.
Yeah, and it sucks because when you look at the images, it's not porn. So it's obvious that
it's just like a pretty, it's like a pretty picture.
I still have to email these people and pray for a response back and saying like, you know, I didn't agree for this to be uploaded here. Can you please take it off?
Yeah.
It's a struggle. It really is.
It's a struggle.
You were supposed to be proud of this moment, proud of this, of being able to get into Playboy in such a prestigious company, and now it just has been tarnished by that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I've experienced like the same thing too. But, you know, just as much as like I respect adult film stars and, you know, if that's what you do, I completely, you know, because without you guys, you wouldn't have nothing to masturbate to. That's what I say too, to each their own, but that's also like a big thing too. Like I have to ask people. Like, you know, when I get casted for things, they're like, okay, can you do like this film? And I'm like, okay, just to make sure like it's not an adult film. Like I don't mind doing like sexy. I don't mind doing like erotica, but I don't want to do like, you know, straight up porn.
Right.
That's just like not something that I find interest in. But I love porn stars. I appreciate them. I love them. I love what they do in a different life. If I didn't worry, you know, about things, or if it was just a different whatever, you know, maybe I would have tried it out at some point, you know, if it was a whole different thing. But, you know, as negative as people make it seem, but, you know, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, but that's a whole nother conversation. You know what I mean? It's a whole nother thing. You know, it's hard to say, you know?
It's hard. And I just feel like it's a bunch of simple-minded people who don't do the research. You know, if they Google you, I get it. If they Google me, they see, the first thing they see is, you know, these different porn sites. Right. But if you click on that and you go to the video, you can see it's not porn.
Of course.
It's my Playboy pictorial. That's it. But people don't do their research. They just off the bat.
Yeah, they do. They're like, okay, it's on Pornhub. She's a porn star.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like,
and unfortunately, there's websites too. There's multiple websites that have seen that and haven't done their research, which I'm very irritated about, because you are potentially saying that you know anything about my life, which obviously you don't.
Exactly.
But for them to be able to post that as well, you know, she's in the porn industry. No.
Yeah, exactly.
False.
Exactly.
False.
Exactly. And I feel like sometimes it could go vice versa too. Sometimes I've talked to some like adult film actresses and like, no, like it's a whole different thing. Like I'm not a Playboy model. I'm not a model. Like I am a model, but like I do something completely different, and I don't want people to like, you know, oversaturate or like misconceive that, or, you know, have any misconceptions of it. So I feel like people need to realize like that's two different entities.
Yes.
You know,
absolutely.
Glamour modeling, Playboy modeling, that's completely different.
Yeah.
You know,
and unfortunately a lot of people don't look at it that way. They just view it as, if you're nude, that's porn. Yeah. And it's unfortunate that a lot of people have that very close mindset, because, I mean, you travel to different countries. They have nude beaches.
Oh,
so you're going to tell me that that's porn too?
Right.
That's sexual acts in the public? Like,
yeah,
no, that's
exactly.
not. No, people are just trying to get a tan without any tan lines.
Exactly.
What do you mean?
And you know what? I feel like it's the people who have the most shit to say are the ones who are the deepest on the porn sites.
Oh, absolutely.
Those are the ones who are like, oh, okay, well, this is all terrible and you're a terrible person, but, you know.
But it's hard to not feel like it's a assassination to your character, you know, because it's like, damn, that's not why I wanted to do this in the first place.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It wasn't for attention. It wasn't for clout. It was specifically because I was comfortable, finally, from the physical and emotional scars from my past, you know? Finally okay to present myself in a certain way to where I was like, you know what, I'm okay in my body, I'm okay in my skin, I'm okay. Yeah,
you're like, you know? I'm a woman, I'm embracing all of this, and I feel beautiful, empowered, and
it sucks. So, like, unfortunately, to sum it up, that is one thing that I have gotten backlash from, not just from backlash from other people, but backlash from myself, like just kicking myself in the ass, being like, damn, was this the right thing to do? Was this the right choice? But you wanted it so bad for so long.
Yeah, and then you get it, and you're like, I'm taking it, and I'm running with it, and I'm going to run until this runs out.
Exactly.
You know, so it's like the same experience for me, you know, family members. I've had women give me death threats.
From your family?
No.
Oh my God. Jesus.
No, not my family.
Oh my God.
Not
your family doesn't play.
They're like, no, they're not. They're all, if you don't take that shit down, we're coming for you. Playboy my ass.
Oh my God.
No, they won't kill. I mean, like, random women. I had this woman message me and comment on number one, you took that much time to comment on every single one of my photos. She's like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to find you. I'm going to kill you.
Oh my God.
I've had women, because
who hurt you?
Clearly her man. Get your man, because it's not my fault.
Get him.
And it was like another crazy thing too was like, I had this girl, she was like, hey, like, you know, like, I noticed my boyfriend, like, likes all your pictures and da-da-da-da. I just want to make sure, like, you're not doing anything with him. Girl, don't nobody want your bum ass. What? Who are you? No one
wants your man. That's why he's your man.
Exactly. What? Do you really think I'm going to take time out of my day to go mess with your ugly ass man?
And that's the problem, too. There's so many women out there. Like, we're supposed to be a team.
Right.
Hello. Like,
this is a team effort.
Yeah. Like, we're supposed to be building each other up. You know, it's already hard enough that we're trying to get through a world that caters to men regardless.
Exactly.
And yet we're here tearing each other down.
And that's not what we're trying to do out here. And you know what I've come to realize? Like, women who model or who do adult film, anything, whether they're sex workers, whatever they are, they're the most, like, welcoming people. Like, the most non-judgmental, I feel like. They're always like, oh, yeah, girl. And, like, you would never know. Like, if you saw girls walking up and down the street, you would never know what they were doing, right? You don't know what their careers are as much as we like to think that we do. But they're just, like, some of the nicest people.
I feel like that's how it goes, though. You know, like, the most suppressed people are the most happiest because they're trying to spread happiness to others because they know what it feels like to be
suppressed, to be, like, the black
dark
sheep.
Place, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like that's why being subjected to an industry that is very very critical on your looks.
Yeah.
Very critical on who you are, how you present yourself, stuff like that. You know, it's just, it's hard. And I feel like that's why a lot of people in that industry, most of them, I can say, are very welcoming, very humbling, because we know what it's like to be judged based on false accusations.
For the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life.
But you know what? I will say, when I am old and my wig is falling off in the retirement home and I'm senile and I got my Playboy posters and I am just happy as can be.
Yeah.
Because I can say, this was who I am.
Here it is.
The little fine-ass nurse can come in. Come and sit on my lap.
You
Come
have it
on.
all framed next to your bed.
Falling asleep next to it.
They're like, yes, we know.
We know. Take your pills. Go
Take
to bed.
your pills.
Do it. Leave us alone.
Oh, God.
So with that being said, with the whole internet thing, how do you feel about social media? Like, how do you feel it's affected your career? Because you have quite the following. You have a very big following. You have like 156,000.
Yeah, like 155, 156. I don't know. Your girl can't be sick and take a week off without losing 1,000 followers.
Well,
so.
see, that's like the thing, though. You know. It is hard because social media is like taking over. I feel like Instagram's on its last leg because Facebook bought Instagram. So it's kind of like over with for anyone who is in the modeling industry. Where we're all going to go, we don't know.
Right.
For me, I've had such a hard time with social media. They just fucking hate me. I've had my page
you keep
shut
getting
down.
Censored. You keep
I
getting
get
reported,
censored, shut down.
I know. They don't want to. They don't want to see you win.
No.
They will not let you.
Your girl can't shine.
You can't.
They don't want me to shine, so fuck them.
I know.
And they're like, every day, anytime I post something, even if it's like, I've even tried it with like swimsuit pictures, shut that shit down.
Really?
They take it down.
Well, you have to have some hater somewhere that's like report. Oh,
they have to, you know, and shout out if you are that hater.
Yeah. You're probably listening to this right now.
You are listening to it, trying to see if you can censor.
Welcome to the chat.
Welcome. We've been awaiting your arrival.
Yes.
I love haters, though. That's what gets me going.
Yeah, if you don't,
keeps
if
me
you
motivated.
ain't got haters, you ain't popping.
No, you're not. Exactly. I feel like haters get you farther than your supporters.
It really does. It really does, because then you got to prove them wrong.
Exactly. Then you just got to keep shining and shining.
Exactly.
So with Instagram and everything like that, catfishing. Have you had any problems with catfishing? Because I have.
Oh, I have to look. Honestly, I'm not even kidding. I have to, at least once a month, search myself and see if there's any new... this is what I don't understand. If you were going to be a catfish and you're going to use my photos, why would you use the same name to where I could find you?
Exactly.
I'm sure there are multiple profiles out there that don't use my name. They use a completely different one and are using my photos. But there are surprisingly so many profiles that use my same pictures and same name even, to where I can Google myself or search myself in the social media platforms and find multiple accounts that are trying to be me.
Right.
And it's like, what are you doing? Like, if you're going to catfish, at least be a good catfish.
Yeah, at least, change my name by at least 10%.
I know. Damn, we probably shouldn't be putting this out there. I'm like, oh, no. We probably shouldn't be saying this. But, yeah, so, honestly, once a month, I have to at least just search myself or go through the platforms. And I'll even search myself, Kelsi Shay. I'll do it with, a different spelling.
Right,
and just see, because usually I find it that way. I've seen a couple fan pages that are borderline catfishing, borderline.
But do they at least put fan page, like Kelsi Shay fan page?
See, they put Kelsi Shay fan, but then it almost acts like they're posting as me in the profile.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But yeah, it's interesting. But yes, catfishing is a big thing. You know, I remember an ex that I had, and he was mad at me because he found a social media profile that was trying to talk to men, and it was my photos, and it said that it was me, but it wasn't me.
Yeah, and it's like,
but how many times do you like, oh, it wasn't me?
Yeah, I know,
Like,
right? We got a whole
Shaggy.
song.
All right. Okay.
They're like, Shaggy did it in 2004.
Exactly.
Like, let it go.
And I get it. I get that it's hard to understand that aspect to where someone's telling you like, no, it's literally not me. Like,
Right.
let me show you how many people catfish and
Yeah.
do fake
Yeah.
profiles. And it becomes a nuisance. It does.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure. How do you
does.
feel about like the oversaturation of social media? So, I see a lot of, I don't want to be rude about it, but I'm just going to say it. I see like a lot of like shitty models who are oversaturating and they buy followers.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, given the fact that it took you, how long did it take you to grow your following?
Oh my God. I mean, it took me, so when I did Playboy, when I first did Playboy, I was like 23, 24. And then it was, I want to say, I mean, up until this point, actually, up until this point, I've been able to steady it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say maybe like 26 was where it finally capped at like, I think I had like 170,000 followers at that point on Instagram. But so it's taken me years, and a lot of people think that it's supposed to come super easy or like overnight type thing, which like, yeah, maybe if you're on TikTok and you get a viral video, maybe,
exactly.
but yeah, the Instagram, you have to put in work. Like,
it
is work. It is another job.
Yeah.
If you want to gain and maintain those followers, it's
exactly.
a whole nother job. So yeah, it's taken me years. Years.
So how do you feel when you see, because, I've started to realize this too, because, within the year, so I got my Instagram page shut down at 10K, which wasn't a lot, but when you get 10K followers organically, and like, I felt like, I was like, okay, if I keep on this up and up, I could have 12, 15, 20 at a certain point, right? And you're like, okay, like if I keep at this rate, it's growing, I'm doing something right. Mm-hmm. I got my account shut down. Started over from fresh. Yeah, hater. So I'm just under 6,000 followers right now, and that's all organic. That's all organic. And then I see girls.
That takes a lot too.
That takes a lot to get people to like
people
mention
don't understand,
you. Yeah, they don't. And then like people don't realize too, like that was a lot of work for me that went out the window. Because then it's like, okay, well, you can't. This is what I fucking hate about social media, because it's a double-sided sword. They'll like look at a chick who has 200,000 followers, right? But she bought her followers. She's not a great model.
Yeah.
And then they get so mad. They get so mad when they see, I've worked with photographers. Like, oh my God, like I worked with this girl. She has like 200,000 followers, but like she's not a great model. Like I don't know how to work with her. I'm like, well, she's not really a model. She just bought her followers, so she's trying to get clout. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying like they're like they're shitty models. I'm saying that they're clout. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, so now you're just clogging up the system for women who this is really their work.
Right.
Because that's what I've realized.
Modeling is work. A lot of people think that you can just go in front of the camera and be a model.
Right.
No, you have to know what side of your face looks better.
Exactly.
The angles that complement your features and your body well. How to move your body around in the lighting and in the camera frame to where it will flatter if you're trying to sell clothes or if you're just trying to promote yourself and update your portfolio. There's a lot that goes into it. And I remember when I first shot with Playboy, I didn't realize, like, I'm not kidding you, my first pictorial with them lasted at least 12 hours.
Oh yeah, it's an all-day affair.
My back hurt after that point. Just from being in abnormal positions and having to hold it for so long.
Oh yeah.
I feel like people don't really think about that, of like, it is an ongoing process.
It's a process, and don't start showing out now. Don't start showing your ass out. You're not going to cry. Nope. You're not going to complain. Nope. You're probably hungry. You're probably starving. Thirsty.
And you know what? They did. Playboy provided food for me, but I'm lactose intolerant. And
they brought all cheese
cubes. I was like, God damn it. I can't even eat this.
Either this shoot is getting shut the fuck down, or I'm just going to have to suck it up and not eat.
All right, I guess I'll starve, and my diet is now Red Bull.
Yeah,
sugar-free
exactly.
Red Bull, that's my diet now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it was like, and that's like the hard thing too, because then they're like, okay, if someone sees a picture of you back from 2015 when you were 22, we're getting older now. I'm 27 myself. So like, okay, well, like we like this picture. So you have to maintain a certain look
Right.
for as long as you can.
Yeah.
Until you transition out, until you're like, okay, like I'm good, I'm done, keep it
And
out.
also, you also have to maintain that look with also being able to change up that look if a different brand or a different clothing company or whatever approaches you and says, hey, we want to give you this job offer, but we need you to fit this, implement this facade.
Right.
It is. It's a facade.
It is a facade.
We don't go home and look like that.
No.
24/7. I'm sorry.
No.
Most of the time, I got a weird bun on top of my head, and I am in. If you guys could see her right now, she has a bun on top of her head.
This is a stressed out bun.
People think that it's just so nonchalant and so just easy for us to go in front of the camera. No, it's work.
It is work. And then here's like another thing too. You are working with different personalities. There are so many girls are like, oh, like I didn't like him. Da, 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 da. Like he was like, yes, set your boundaries. Yes, have your respect for yourself. I'm not saying that. But if a photographer, like my photographer that I worked with for Playboy was Bruce. And Bruce is he is so brutally honest and just does not care.
But you appreciate that. You want someone to tell you. You want someone to correct you. If you're not doing well or if you don't look good that way, you want someone to tell you, hey, I'm looking through the lens and it's not flattering for you.
But you know what? Like I knew that when I had talked to him, like when I was messaging him back and forth, it was kind of like, so I brought my fucking A+ extra credit game, right? I'm like, I'm shooting for A++. We about to get this. And, most people would not do well with his personality because he has such a bold, dominant personality.
Yeah. A lot of people will come, but that's also maybe why he has to have that bold personality, because you have to weed through the bullshit models.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And he was
models, quote unquote.
Yeah, models, quote unquote. And you're like, okay, well, girl, I get it. I understand it. If you want to be like an Instagram model, if you want to do like the brand ambassador thing, that's one thing, but don't take up space for actual models, because now we're starting to get silenced and censored and shut down.
Exactly.
And then it's like, okay, well now this chick has 200,000 followers, 500,000 followers, and she's getting all the work, and now she's charging all these people.
And she bought most of them.
And then it's like, okay, girl, I see you and I'm proud of you for doing that, but then it's almost like you're catfishing the whole system. Right. Then you're just like finessing the whole system.
In itself. And I feel like I used to get so irritated and irked by women who, I didn't get irritated by women who would come ask me for advice, because I will gladly give you
absolutely recommendations, referrals.
But what I'm not going to do is the work for you.
Oh yeah,
I'm not going to point you in the right direction and you be like, oh well, can you no I can't, because you know what, if you want it bad enough, you're going to figure out a way to do it yourself.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you need to put in that work. So if you don't want it bad enough, you're not going to put in that work, and I'm not going to waste my time.
Oh yeah, that's like the same. I've given girls, like, I'm like, hey, work with this photographer. Like, if you're scared and you don't know if like these photographers are real, if they're a creep, I will give you a list of like my top 5 that like I work with that are guaranteed.
And they won't even make the move to even reach out to them themselves.
Exactly.
So, can you tell them?
No, you do it.
You do that.
Or you guys will like get in contact with them, or whatever, and then it's just like, well, they just ghosted me. I'll tell the photographer, I'm like, hey, like, just look out for this chick. She's going to message you. Like, I told her, like, you're a great photographer to work with, and after that, like, I don't know, like, if he charges you or whatever he does, or if he doesn't charge you, but like,
that's on you.
That's on you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, like, okay, well, I didn't do it. I just didn't. Okay, well, then don't ask me again.
Right. If you're not serious about it, because I'm putting it, by me giving you referrals or reaching out to someone that we've worked with before and putting your name out there.
Right.
That's putting our ass on the line.
Oh, absolutely.
That's putting our name on the line, and I don't want to sit here and sound like holier than thou. Right. But at the same time, we have worked so hard for where we have gotten.
Yeah, I didn't have anyone guiding me.
I didn't have anyone guiding me. I couldn't even go to anyone and be like, hey, can you point me in the right direction? No. Google.
Yeah, Google.
I had to do so. I was the FBI in that. Oh, girl,
same. Okay? I was click.
Exactly. Again, if you want it bad enough, you will figure out a way.
Oh, you definitely will.
And we did. So it just frustrates me when I see other women who are just looking for a free handout or just want to be labeled a model just to be a model for attention. No.
Yeah.
That's not what it's about.
No. If you're going to do this, you have to...
Your soul has to be in it.
you have to... your soul has to be in it, and it's, it's stressful, but when you do it, like, you have to be physically, mentally, emotionally prepared, because you don't know what you're walking into.
Exactly.
Like, I've done shoots that I've been on there for 12 hours a day, and we got nothing done. Like yesterday, let's see, I was up from 6:30 yesterday, and I filmed until 12:30 at night, or 12 o'clock, I should say. I went to bed at like 12:30. But like, that was the day. Like, you think about that. Like, you're there all day. You can't be moody. You can't be pissy. You can't like start, whatever. Shit goes wrong on a shoot.
Right.
Shit goes wrong all the time.
Yeah.
So for people to So with social media, another big thing is monetizing off of social media. We know like brand ambassadors and things like that. We see that a lot of paid posts. Have you made any money off of your social media page? Whether it be like booking for like photo shoots or any of that.
So I guess if we're going the photo shoot route, yes, I have. But if we're going the route of paid posts for advertisement, my thing that I have always prided myself on is the fact that I will not promote a product if I don't believe in it. So I've had multiple brands reach out to me. I won't name names, but I really want to.
I mean, you can. Really, who else is going to listen? I mean, whatever. Is it like the skinny tea shit?
I was the fit tea
bullshit,
tea, skinny tea, all of that, and I myself cannot get behind being okay with being paid to promote a product that I know is not going to work for other people.
Yeah, false advertisement.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
And so I have been offered a nice chunk of money.
Right.
To continue to promote for them, for their company. But upon researching and, statistics and facts and all of that, it doesn't add up. And I'm not going to steer people because, there are people out there that are looking at us as, I don't want to say role models, but they look at our either body types or, anything like that. And they want just info.
They're like, how do you do that? Right. Yeah.
I've had multiple women reach out to me in my DMs even, and they're like, I just want to know what you eat in a day. Yeah. And I'm like, no, you don't. no, you don't. But, it just, I would feel like a shitty individual. I wouldn't be okay with just, if it was about the money. And again, this is not why you get into modeling. You don't get into modeling for the money.
Right.
You get into modeling because you are confident in your skin. You are okay with yourself.
Right.
You want to promote that. It's not for clout. It's not for any of that.
It's a short-lived ride too. People don't realize that it's a short-lived, and good on you, because there's so many people who do advertise such bullshit products, and it's like, okay, well, I mean, you paid for the, and I have no problem with body modifications, but like, you paid for your body modification, and now you have these girls out here thinking like, if I buy this tea, I'm gonna be like you. I'm gonna get your lifestyle.
I see that so much, or even just like, I would be pissed if I was their plastic surgeon, and I'm like, damn, I can't get a shout out. Like,
nothing.
I gave you that ass, and now you're not gonna.
You're gonna say this tea?
I did 100 squats a day. My ass.
This tea got you that ass?
Oh my god.
No, and good on you for that, because I'm like the same way too.
I can't do it.
I've had some paid advertisement promotions or whatever, and I was like, oh no. The one thing that I did get behind back in the day was a protein powder from a retired football player.
That's different. Protein powders, they work for different people, different body types.
It's not.
That's different.
Yeah, because it's like a lifestyle. It's not like you're promoting just like drink this tea 3 times a day and you're gonna you're just gonna lose weight. No, this is like drink our protein powder and live a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. That's different. But I just couldn't. And I'm not gonna lie, they were offering pretty good money.
They're all, but you know what? Good.
It was good money. But I know what it was like to be one of those women where because a lot of people don't know this, but I used to weigh 170 pounds.
Yeah, I remember you told me that. Yeah.
And to be one of those people where I was like, it's not that I was like that all my life.
Mm-hmm.
I was small, then I got big, and then I lost the weight again. But when I was that weight, I did want to lose it, and I just wanted to figure out what would work.
Right.
And I was going through all of these different scenarios, keto diet, paleo, just all this different stuff. And it's not fair to go on all of these different social media pages and see these women where they have the ideal body type that you would want.
Right.
And maybe they might not be sellouts. Maybe that
Yeah,
might
exactly.
not be. But that diet may work for only them and their body type and their body system.
Exactly. And it might be, because my sister's a personal trainer as well, too. And she does diets that are catered to your person.
I'm waiting for her to bust my ass into shape. I'm scared.
Yeah, it's like, well, yeah, and she does this for a living. And you think to yourself, you're like, oh my God, how do you do this? And then you see, but she does it for every different person's body type. Because like what you want to do, like what do you want to look like? Do you want to just be toned? Do you want to have an hourglass shape? Do you want rock hard
and something
abs?
that works for them may not
probably won't work with me.
You.
Yeah, exactly. And then your metabolism are different. Your age ranges are different.
There's so many different factors, and I just didn't want to be a sellout to have that one size fits most product sold on their page.
Yeah, good. I'm glad.
Thanks.
You have morals.
Thanks. I do.
Because if you would have sold it to you, I would have been the first person in your inbox.
Like, hey, use this promo code. Oh no!
You say, I say, catch these hands. Oh, catch me at the gym, sis.
Right?
I'll see you at the gym with
outside. How about that?
Catch me with those promo codes.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's been like hit or miss with social media, when it comes to like monetizing off of it. And like that's like another thing too when it comes to actual modeling is that there's so many models who are taking up photographers and they're charging all this for an hour or 2 hours, whatever. Like we all have our rates for modeling because we're both freelance models.
Yeah.
I just kind of find that to work out better.
Oh, absolutely. Why would I pay a manager to do the same amount of work that I'm willing to do?
Exactly. Let me just do it myself.
Yeah.
Let me just see what because you know what? I had a manager once and he was just fucking up my money. I was like, dude.
For your modeling?
For my modeling. He was like turning down opportunities that I would have taken and like vice versa.
See, and then also it's like sometimes they get you opportunities where it's like, why would you
like that was like another thing too. I was like, why would you put me in this?
But it was a big paycheck, so they were like, oh, more money for me.
Exactly.
No.
Like I've gotten invited to go down to be a model in like Sturgis for like that big old motorcycle.
If you guys could see my face right now, listen.
Let me tell you, if you guys don't know what Sturgis is, it's in North Dakota.
We don't own a Harley Davidson motorcycle, okay?
And neither would anybody down there want me to be there. No. Okay. Nobody wants
expecting that. Oh my God.
Let me just make that clear. I am not wanted in.
I did get asked to bartend at Sturgis once though. And I couldn't. I'm like, listen, if I go there, there's going to be problems.
All the problems.
No.
I did and it was crazy too because I did like there's like these, I don't know if he's everywhere, but it's called like Law Tigers.
What the fuck is the Law Tigers?
It's a lawyer's office for motorcycle people, apparently. So I had to go host
where
this.
You messed up. You're already fucked up when you Law Tigers.
Tigers, girl. I was out there and I was out here promoting and it was just weird. And I think that's how they just assumed that I was going to go to Sturgis. It was funny because I was like traveling in town. I'd lived in North Carolina for the time. And it was funny because I had my mom drop me off at the event because like I didn't have like a rental car. I was like, Mom, just drop me off.
Oh. You don't want to be here for this. You don't want to be here for this.
Drop me off.
You don't want these problems.
So just drop me off. I was about 24 or whatever, and I was out there, and it was just such a
How
weird...
did you get in? Did they reach out to you?
They reached out to me. So I did Law Tigers, and they were like, okay, well, we're doing Sturgis, and like, you know what Sturgis is? And I was like, no. I was like, explain it to me. And I'm like, I realized that Sturgis
How'd
was
they
like
explain it to you? I want to hear this.
You know what? Everything that was a no for me. It's a no for me, dog.
Yeah.
I just couldn't go.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Oh, God.
I was like, at first I was like all hyped up. And they're like, you can make like so much money going down here. Da, da, da. And I was like,
if you sell your soul. No.
No. That was just like, there's just like some things you have to turn down.
There is.
Sturges and fit tee you turn down.
You do. It's just like the skinny tee, fit tee, all of that. I'm just a flat tummy tee.
Yeah, the flat tummy tee.
I'm naming names.
Yeah, name names.
I'm naming names.
What are they going to do?
I'm dropping them because you know what?
You know they don't. They know that shit don't work.
That's fucked up. For you to play off of
women's insecurities.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. And women's insecurities, where it's you know that they're just all they want is something to help them reach their body goal, and you play off of that.
And then you play off of.
I'm not doing that. I'm not supporting that.
And then they said social media already makes women insecure enough because like you go in and you click and you see all these different images and stuff like that make you feel lesser about yourself.
Right.
Whether it's like someone's
they
lifestyle,
play off of your insecurities.
They do, and then they just shove it in your face, like right. Even if you're not on Instagram, you're on. Let's say you're just like scrolling Amazon Prime or something, and then like an ad pops up for flat tummy tea. So it's just like being thrown in your face constantly.
Popeyes ad pops up on me. I'm like, oh, how did they know?
That's most of my. I will not lie. Most of my Instagram is me looking at food porn.
Me too.
I like save all these restaurants, and I'm like next time.
Like food, but also I save a lot of like recipes, like how to.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. I like the what are they called? Like they're like the little short videos. They have their own page, but they make really good
Foodgasm.
It's just all named Popeyes.
Popeyes, $5 box.
I tried the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
What did you think?
It was lit.
You know what?
But I got it on the I got it deep in Aurora next to the Hood Beauty Supply store, so that's why I think it was.
That's the one I go to. What do you mean? That's the only one you can go to. They had one in Park, and I was like, no, this isn't. This is all wrong. Nope,
this is all wrong.
False advertisement. No, so that's the one I go to on Parker Road. Yes. And okay, so
it's like a really sketchy parking lot.
But that's when you know it's the best chicken, though. And they hook you up.
I got a fat sandwich.
I'm telling you, the sandwich, and then if you go to that location, I love how we're giving out referrals.
Promo code Kelsi Shay.
Kelsi Shay, $5 box, Popeyes. But if you go to that location, it's like they don't give a fuck about their job. And so they will just pack, like, I remember I ordered what was like a $5 spicy tenders piece. They give you like 10.
Girl,
like,
take it. Just take it.
We hate our job. Just take it. I'm like, all right. Can I get some black and ranch for that?
Yeah. Am I like overstepping my boundaries like here? Like, can I like get some extra?
Oh my god, that's the only one you can go to though. That's like the authentic one in Colorado.
In Colorado, absolutely. Yeah. Like I lived in North Carolina for 2 years, and let me tell you, bitch, Bojangles.
You know what? My friend, okay, I have these twin friends from Playboy. Mm-hmm. So
let me tell you guys, Playboy models love to eat.
Yes, we really do. So if y'all know Playboy, y'all probably know my friends, Brittany and Brandy. Mm-hmm. They're twins, super hot, whatever. I remember I met up with them in LA and we were, just drunk, tired, hungry. We're like, let's just go somewhere. But I think the one that they were talking about, no, it was Bojangles. It was either Bojangles or Roscoe's.
Roscoe's. I think Roscoe's is in LA. Roscoe's is big. Roscoe's chicken and waffles. Bojangles is like deep down south. P.D. Pablo. P.D. Pablo sung about Bojangles. Because that bitch Bojangles.
I was going to say, stop. No. That is false advertisement right there, people.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I said that. I did it.
But they have the Bojangles in North Carolina, and is it like a drive-through or is it like a?
You can sit. It's a drive-through. You can sit in it.
Oh, so it has like a
table, but it's not like nice. It's just like a fast food restaurant.
Listen, the hole in the wall places are the best.
Yeah, Bojangles.
Okay,
North Carolina. I'm advertising.
So when we go to North Carolina, because she's been telling me. Y'all hear this right now.
Yeah, if you guys see us in North Carolina, mind your business.
Mind your business. Because she's been telling me that she's going to show me around North Carolina sometime soon.
Imagine two Playboy models in town meeting in a city near you. But let me tell you, though, there's Playboy models everywhere. I got 2 Playboy model friends in North Carolina. They're everywhere. Bunnies are everywhere. And let me tell you,
But they're humble. That's why you don't know that they're there.
No, you know what? So one of my friends, shout outs to Cassandra.
Cassandra. I want to meet you.
She's amazing. She's beautiful. And she is, I think she's like Thai and Filipino or something along those lines.
Listen, you didn't tell me she was Thai too.
I think she's Thai. Either that or her boyfriend is Thai. One of the combinations of two.
We're cousins.
Yeah, you guys are cousins. You guys are fam regardless.
Sawadika.
She's always at Chick-fil-A. If you want to bait in a Playboy model, you guys go to Chick-fil-A, go to Popeyes, Bojangles.
You know what though?
You won't find us like in the club, like you think you would.
We'll be eating. We'll be eating a lot.
We'll be eating in the local place towards you. Now that we're all off track, so we are gonna, as we ended our conversation, hopefully Popeyes gives us a fucking sponsorship.
I know, shit. Popeyes, can we get a sponsor?
Give us something.
Or at least like a free
shout out.
Some
shout out.
Spicy tenders.
Something. Something. Give me something. Girl, gotta eat. I mean, as much as I love to cook, I gotta eat.
I know.
So with our closing banter here, what is your advice for models looking to get into it? How would you tell them to start? Like, what would you give them? Like, where would they get their foot in the door?
So,
and also too, like, how would you guide them and tell them, hey, like, you know, girls are finding it hard right now who are in it because they're like, okay, well, social media isn't doing me any justice. How do I find people? How do I find work? Yeah. Like things like that.
So first and foremost, let's always remember that social media is a highlight reel. It doesn't ever broadcast people's failures, you know? Right. You cannot compare yourself to where someone else is. You don't know how they got there. You don't know. It doesn't work that way. And that was one thing that I struggled with because I was like, okay, this other model and I have the same amount of followers, but yet she's hanging out with these people. And
right. You start to compare yourself.
Yeah. You know, you cannot compare yourself because you don't know someone else's life.
Exactly. You don't know what they did to get there.
Social media. It's it's automatically a highlight reel. Don't compare yourself in that aspect. Another thing that I can say is if you want it bad enough, you're going to figure out a way. I did not have anyone to refer me or point me in the right direction, just nothing. But I knew that I wanted to do that. That's what I had my mind set on. That's what I focused on. That's what I wanted to do. And so I did it. If you want it bad enough, you're going to figure out a way. Right. And so by saying that, I want to say, if you feel like there is no other opportunities, there is. Yeah. Because there may not be any opportunities with the way that you're viewing it, but if you talk to other people or if you reach out to, you know, like I said before, earlier in the podcast, it's about reaching out, doing your research. Do research. Be the fucking FBI in this bitch.
If you can do it for a dude or a girl or whatever you're researching.
Be fucking FBI in this bitch to where you know who is the casting director, who is the main photographer that they use, who is the main person who decides the castings in the first place. Right. All of these are aspects that you need to take into consideration. And if you do all of this intel, all this research, and figure it out for yourself. Right. And if you just message them like I did. I messaged them. I messaged different people. And I told them why I wanted it. Not for clout, not for attention, not for anything like that. X, Y, and Z. Right. This is why. Right. It's up to you now. Decide.
Yeah, exactly.
That is what I have to say. If you want it bad enough, because it is easy for models to be like, you know, I'm just not what they're looking for. I'm not this, I'm not that. Yes, you may not be, right, but that doesn't mean that you aren't someone else's.
Right. You can always change your path. Like when I first started modeling, I was a fashion model. I was so skinny.
I couldn't even
do
fashion. They told me I was plus size for being a size 6.
Yeah, let me tell you, I was a size 4 and I was already pushing it, and then I turned into like a size 7 and I maintain a size 7 right now. Yeah. Right. Think about that. A size 7 and you are still considered a plus size model. Then fashion model isn't for you. Size. They tell you you're a big girl. They say, okay, you know, and it was a hard it was a hard turn for me because when I first started, I was with an agency, and all the girls in my agency had gotten casted for a fashion show, and I didn't. I was like,
see, but
there.
you're taller than me though. You're like 5'9", right?
I'm like, yeah, exactly. I was there, and I should have.
So I was like, all right, I can see why they told
they told you no, right? So I was there, and I'm like,
But
you know how bad it feels when you're the only girl left who's like, no, you didn't get casted, but everyone else did.
Yeah.
And you know what the guy had told me? He was like, you're just too sexy for my clothes. Right. So I went through this whole transition. I found glamour modeling, and I still do fashion modeling to my more commercial modeling than, you know, anything. I kind of find my realm of work. Of course, like you said, social media is a highlight reel. So I only post like glamour stuff, but that was honestly that was my start was in fashion modeling, runway modeling.
And that's hard because starting off in fashion and runway, like I started off like fashion. Runway didn't really happen until I'd say like maybe a year or two down the road, when they were like, okay, yeah, you can walk, we can teach you, they're like,
yeah, we can teach you how to.
We can take you under our wing, you know, because I'm Asian, I'm not tall,
yeah,
I'm 5'7", 5'8" on a good day.
You stand straight.
You know, exactly.
You got your Louboutins
You
on.
know, exactly. So it's hard, and I don't think a lot of women who, and again, that's what differentiates the groups. Women who are looking at modeling for clout or for attention, you're going to get eaten alive.
Oh, so quick.
First day, done.
Yeah.
But it is also hard because when you are in for it for the right reasons, because you are comfortable with your body, okay in your own skin, confident now, finally, like, it just all this stuff, it's hard because when you get knocked down, it hurts just as bad.
Oh, yeah. And then let me tell you guys something, too. There's not going to be as many. There are a lot of, and I know I said this earlier, and I'm not trying to like backtrack on any statements that I've made, but there are a lot of nice women who are very open and inviting.
Oh, absolutely.
But then there are some very, 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 very not nice.
And it's not nice to your face. It's not nice to the aspect of they'll make you second guess yourself.
Oh, yeah. They'll say things that'll just make you feel
They're
some
like,
type of way.
Well, you're so pretty, but I don't know how you're going to walk down the runway weighing this much.
Yeah, exactly. They'll be like, oh my gosh, like, I'm surprised they let you wear that.
Yeah.
They'll say things
I'm surprised you fit in the fittings that we have.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now, in the clothes we have now. Yeah.
Or even you'll read a room when you walk in, when you see it. Like when you walk in and girls are already looking at you like, no.
It's a very dog eat dog industry. And I don't think, and you know what?
It's not for the faint at heart. I will tell you that.
And so maybe that's a blessing in itself, because the people who are in it for clout and for attention,
they fall off
because they're like, oh shit, like I didn't think it was gonna be like this, whatever.
And then they start shaming people. They start going back and they say, you know.
That's what I was gonna say, is that the problem is that then they're scorned, and then they come back and they're usually the haters, or they're usually the people that post false information or just follow you and report your account.
Oh yeah.
It's stuff like that to where it's hard. Modeling is not an easy industry. A lot of people think that you can just walk in front of the camera and just pose, be done.
Right.
No, it's not. Being judged on your looks alone, solely just your looks, and not anything about your brain, street smarts, nothing.
Right.
Solely looks. How many people can you tell me will pass that?
No. And then here's like another thing
and get
too.
paid for it.
Oh no. And like another thing too, I've realized too, is that if you are like an asshole on a shoot.
Oh,
your name is, you
blacklisted
are
through the industry. Blacklisted.
Forever. If you show up, let's say like you show up on a shoot and
oh my God,
you have an attitude times 1,000, your career it's done.
I swear. So this time I'm not gonna.
Don't name no name. I'm not. We can name out companies because fuck the companies.
I'm not gonna name. Don't name no names of the photographer, but I will say that I specifically remember. He's gonna know too. He's gonna know I'm talking about him. So I remember when I was first starting out, I was literally like 19 years old. I didn't start thinking about modeling until I was like 16, 17.
Oh, same for me. I was watching America's Next Top Model and I was like, that's me.
Right. Yeah. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And so I was 19 and I went on, this photo shoot, and this photographer, he said something to me that I was like, no, we're not playing this. So I was doing the shoot, and he saw that I was like kind of uncomfortable because obviously I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm 19 years old at the time. I don't have that much experience. You know, I'm not fucking Bella or Gigi Hadid over here.
Exactly.
Like,
just born into the queenness.
Exactly. I'm sorry, I'm not. And so he said on the shoot, he said, what, do you not trust me? And this was my first time shooting with him, mind you. And so I told him, I said, no, honestly, I don't. He stopped shooting with me and got his assistant to take his camera and start shooting me. And guess what? We got the best fucking pictures that we fucking got on this. Listen, first of all, you cannot expect a model who has never met you before in her life. Because him and I met through a clothing company.
Right.
Like, I didn't know him, but I knew him through that company. Mm-hmm. And then for him to reach out to me, and he was like, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. Cool, but I'm not comfortable because I'm 19 years old and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Oh, yeah.
And for him to say, what, do you not trust me? I'm going to tell you, no, I don't.
Well, that, you know, no, you have to have that bold personality, because if you don't set limits and things are happening.
Exactly. You will get walked over.
Oh, so quick.
You will get eaten alive in this industry. So if you don't put your foot down, and models, that's another thing. If you are not comfortable with something, or if you have something that is not settling well inside yourself, say it. Announce that shit, whatever. But if you are not okay with something, just because you're there and you're getting paid for a job, if you're not okay with something, say it.
Do it. Yeah, say something. I'm not comfortable with
Fuck
this.
'em.
This is not what
They did not buy your soul. They did not buy the morals.
No. They don't.
No.
And don't let that go to your head too. Don't let money go to your head. Because, you know, I've showed up to shoots where it's, they want me to do a fashion shoot, right? And then all of a sudden, like, well, can you just, do lingerie? Yeah, pop the top. I'm like, no, because you didn't book me for that. You guys booked me for, to do a commercial shoot.
And they will. And unfortunately, that is one thing that I feel like models getting into the industry need to know, is that, unfortunately, a lot of people look at you as a tool. Like, how
you're a walking hanger.
Exactly. Like, how far can I use them to get to where I want to be as a photographer or as a clothing brand, whatever. And you need to be aware of that aspect, because a lot of people will try to push you to a point to where you are not comfortable with.
Yeah, and they say you should be comfortable with it. Like, this girl, I worked with this girl.
Oh,
she was
you
cool
signed
with
up for this when you were a model, right?
No, don't ever do anything you're not comfortable with. And some people are way more comfortable with doing certain things, and, like, you know, that is nothing wrong with that. If you're super comfortable with, like, doing certain styles, but number one, know your market. Know that if you...
And know your worth.
Know your market. Know your worth.
Your fucking worth.
And know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Do your research. That's number one. And I think we've said this not even enough. I can't even say we say it too many times. We haven't said it enough. Do your research. Yes. It is 2020. Research your photographers. If you see a guy, you know, like, I've been reached out by photographers. They've had huge followings, blah, blah, blah. But, like, all their photo shoots look like a party.
Yeah.
And they're taking, like, really, like, untasteful video. I'm not shooting with that. I don't want to work with you.
That's what we're saying. Like, do your research, not only of them, but of their work.
Yeah.
You have to see, is this something, because I will say, and it's probably going to get me, like, blacklisted, whatever. I don't care. I don't fucking care anymore. But I will say that when I signed my agreement with Playboy, and I didn't read through it, because who fucking reads agreements nowadays?
Right.
Who cares? Read through the agreements. Read through all of that. Do your research, because I did not realize that working with Playboy, they were allowed to either take close-up shots of private parts.
Right.
Was not comfortable with that. I would have definitely said no to that had I known. Or also, you know, just like we've mentioned before, being able to download and upload a Playboy video, like a Playboy pictorial, to a site to where these people were uploading it to whatever, Pornhub, X videos, whatever.
Right.
And then now you look like a porn star if people don't do their research.
Yeah, do your research.
Do your research. You need to know your boundaries and know what is okay with you and what is not. Because if you feel like you can't put your foot down with a company, you don't need to be working with that company.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And with that being said, what is Kelsi up to? What are you working on right now?
My health, goddammit, I just got over COVID. The fuck you mean? Damn, I just lost 1,000 followers because I didn't post for 2 weeks because of COVID. But thanks, guys.
Yeah, she's out here posting, got COVID. See, that's like
I'm
another
so
thing.
mad.
Double-sided sword.
Your girl can't even be sick without losing 1,000 followers. But it's fine. It's cool.
So you're getting over COVID?
It's cool. Honestly, you know what? I'm gonna tell everyone what I'm up to. I am up to multitasking. I am up to modeling, but also being about my schoolwork. I am.
Oh, you're in school.
I am, yes. So I am.
What are you studying?
I am going to school for cybersecurity because I am so sick of the stereotypical models are dumb bimbos, don't have minds of their own.
Oh,
Blase
yeah.
blah.
Right.
All that fugazi shit. I'm done. Done with it. I want to be a role model in the aspect of women can multitask. Women can do, you don't have to choose between being a model or an education.
No, you don't.
I hate
You can
that.
do everything. Or like people, like just because you're beautiful or you're sexy or whatever, you do certain things that you're
Right.
just not smart. Like you're just breezing through life.
Exactly. And just because you are pretty, just because you are a model, does not mean you have had things handed to you. I want people to know that they can do both. Because honestly, with me, when I did Playboy and when my modeling career was actually taking off, I just didn't see how going to school would work with
Right.
traveling with Playboy and everything. You know, like
Right.
Playboy took me to Montreal. They took me to like all these places, and I'm so appreciative of that. I
Right.
get it. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I don't ever want to be diminished or demeaned by the aspect of, you know, she's a model, so she doesn't
That's
have a
it.
brain, or
Yeah.
that's it. You
Yeah.
know, the stereotypical dumb bimbo model.
Yeah, you want
I'm
brains
here to
and beauty.
break that.
And I feel like a lot of women are starting to step up and do that.
Absolutely. But it's because of multiple people who have been here to say, like, I'm here to break that aspect, because I feel like if I'm not going to speak for you because I don't know, but for myself, if I saw the people in Playboy magazine who inspired me in the first place to be confident in my own skin and just okay with myself, for them to be like, okay, you have to choose either modeling or the other because you can't do both, because that's so hard.
Right, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
Like, that would be one thing. So I just want to set a good standard, because I'm not saying I'm a role model. God forbid. God forbid.
Well, you know what makes a good role model is
not.
one who this is mine.
But
This is my opinion.
Yeah.
To be a good role model, you've lived life. 'Cause
exactly.
no one could really live up to this high standard of
Yeah.
someone who's just like, I've never done anything wrong. No, because we've all done things wrong.
Yeah.
Even the person
We
who says they've
all
never done
have.
anything
We
wrong.
all have done things
So
wrong.
I would think that you're a role model.
Yeah.
You're going to school for cybersecurity, and
I'm going to school for cybersecurity. I just want people to know that you don't have to, not people, just like women, I want them to know that you don't have to play into this dumb bimbo model aspect.
yeah,
where,
don't sell yourself short. If you're smart, bitch, be smart.
Because you know what? I remember one time, I
Oh,
swear,
girl.
I'm going to get myself fucking blacklisted from all these brands.
Get blacklisted. That's our goal here.
Oh, God.
I created a podcast that's this
Real.
whole thing is
It's real.
This whole thing is gonna
you
get
want
me blacklisted.
The real tea, hot piping hot
Hyping
tea.
and I'm a mess
Yeah.
for tea. I love tea.
So I remember when Playboy flew me out for the Montreal Grand Prix.
Right.
So thankful, so appreciative, everything. And I remember that I met some men who were with Playboy, and they were there, and they were men of power.
Mm-hmm.
like, just to keep it short, there were men in power, and I honestly was just interested in asking them, like, picking their brain on, like, statistics and all of that stuff. And when I asked them that, they were like, no, we're not here for that. Like, we're here for Playboy models. You don't ask those type of questions.
Oh, no. We ask those questions.
And so when that happened, I was like, oh, okay, so this is where I know that I'm not appreciated. Like, I'm not welcomed. And if you ever feel like you're not welcomed, you need to bounce. Just leave. Just get the fuck out of there.
Get out of there.
Because no.
It's irritating. It's very
irritating. Because honestly, like,
because why do I have to prove myself? I can still be smart and still wear a little Gucci dress.
But also, why do you think that just because I'm a successful model, like, I'm a very good model at what I do, in this hour meeting, why do you think that that's something to where I can't ask you? Because what I said, this man is going to know exactly what I'm talking about. And by the way,
expose these
needs
hoes.
To know,
he
because
needs
you know
to
what?
know.
By the way, enjoy your job at Google. But
oh shit, we going to Google.
Yeah, because you know what? I'm pissed. I'm pissed at the aspect that I asked for different seasons. Are there different statistics, different rates for what visits the site? We were talking about a certain site.
Right.
We were talking about all of this stuff. And he was not expecting a Playboy model that was supposed to be there with him on his arm, being arm candy, to ask these questions. So he was not prepared, nor was he willing to answer these questions. But therefore, don't put me down because you weren't expecting these questions. What we're not going to do is act like because a model was supposed to be with you, that you are entitled to anything. No. Let alone not entitled to answer my questions when I'm asking hard ones.
Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely. I've been in that predicament too many times. Fuck all of them.
Fuck them.
Fuck, I've been there so many times. I have been invited. You know what? And I'll end the podcast on this, but we'll end on our fucking women's empowerment.
Yes.
I was on a date in South Beach, dating this guy, super successful, and he was like, "Okay, come with me. I want to close this business deal."
Yes, they want you as arm candy
to close you know what close the business deal is? The fact that I'm educated enough.
Come sit on my lap and make me look
No. My closing the business deal.
What?
Was talking to these guys from foreign countries about the business that they were already in and knowing about the work that they were already doing. That's what closed the deal, sir.
Oh yeah,
not my little small little itty bitty dress.
I saved your ass. My ass. Oh,
I don't know if they listened to anything that I fucking. They did
because
did.
Yep.
But you know what? Fuck it, ladies. Women, we know better. We know better. But do your research.
If you are not okay with something, just say it, because you don't want to sit there and be like, "Oh, I'm not okay with this," and then later on down the road, it comes out, and you're still not. You're still not okay with it,
but you did it before, and it's a slippery slope, and then you're setting up bad territory for new models as well too.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation that we look forward to having with Miss Kelsi Shay. But if people want to keep up with you, people want to keep up with you, where can we find you?
Which platform would you like?
We'll take all the platforms. I feel like everybody wants everything to do. I want everything to do with you.
So most of my platforms are linked to Miss Kelsi Shay. So MissKelsishay. The most active platform that I am on is Instagram, just because
it's Instagram.
I mean, it's Instagram. Come on. But yeah, and then honestly, like I said before, if anyone has any questions or just wants to know how to get into the industry, I'm more than happy to help. But you have to be hungry for it. You can't be just bullshitting, right? Like, I want someone else to do the work for me, blah, blah, blah. No. Chardonnay and I didn't have, or Coco Madame.
No,
did
you
not
call me
have-
Chardonnay. People think it's fake anyways.
Oh,
Chardonnay.
God. But we did not have anyone to help us out or even point us into the right direction.
Not even
with
close.
It's just...
So we are willing and helping. It sounds like Kelsi's definitely willing and helping. And if you're really hungry,
I'll help.
she'll help you.
I
And I'm the
will.
same way too. Always reach out to
Yeah.
me. But until next time, I'm super glad you came on the show.
Thank you.
You're always
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. Always
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. And you guys can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
Go follow her.
Follow me under Hustle
What are you
Bunny
doing
Podcast.
right now? Go follow her.
They're not following me in my tired ass bun.
Oh.
So if you guys want to
Follow
follow me,
her now. You didn't hear any of that.
follow me. And until next time, guys, we will see you. Then stay safe, stay smart, stay sexy, and we'll chat with you guys soon.